latest drought monitor that was released early this week on Thursday, still showing lots of dry conditions across the Central Plains. Let's get a look here at the latest numbers in Kansas. No drought, right around 3.5%. Abnormally dry, about 96.5%. Moderate drought, right around 80.5%. Severe drought, 54.5%. Extreme drought, right around 31.75%. And the exceptional category, right around 4.75%. So lots of slight improvements in those last four categories or so, right around 1 to 1.5%. So some slight improvements were made, but still a long way to go in Kansas, that is. And a similar story here in Nebraska, where no drought, right around 22.5%, mainly for parts farther west, so parts of the Panhandle and far southwest Nebraska. Some no drought taking place there. Otherwise, the abnormally dry, 77.5%. Moderate drought, 68%. Severe drought rates still at 48%. 20% extreme drought, as well as 2.5% exceptional drought. Now, there were a couple of encouraging numbers there, those last two categories, extreme and exceptional. Right around a 2.5% increase in those categories. So some good news there, some encouraging news, but unfortunately some dry weather in the forecast this week. So we'll see if any improvements are made compared to next week's. The temperature outlook for August showing below average temperatures for much of central and eastern Nebraska, which after this week we may need that. The cooler temperatures in the forecast. Otherwise, hotter temperatures expected for parts of far southwestern Kansas for the month of August. Heading on to precipitation now, above average precipitation expected for eastern Nebraska, as well as central and eastern Kansas, and maybe some even more above average precipitation expected for far eastern Kansas. The drier weather stays off to our west for the month of August. So some encouraging news there, especially in those drought-stricken areas. But for the next 3 months, August, September, and October, temperatures still on the cooler side. Expected, at least right now, for parts of eastern Nebraska, far northeastern Kansas there as well. Hotter temperatures expected for southwest Nebraska, southwest Kansas, that is. Otherwise, pretty equal chances for seeing those average temperatures really that time of year. And for the 3-month precipitation outlook, this is some encouraging news here. Parts of eastern Nebraska expecting above average precipitation, as well as parts of eastern Kansas. So maybe get some improvement over the next 3 months on that drought monitor. Otherwise, the grow week ahead, boy, is it going to be a hot one. 96 on Monday, staying in the 90s all week long. And unfortunately, those precipitation chances do look to be few and far between for us. 98 Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday, 97 on Thursday. Lots of sunshine. The Grow Almanac for this week, normally we see highs right around 88 and a low of right around 66. This week, well, we are surpassing that by a wide margin. 97 the average high, and the average low this coming week right around 70 we will see. And your Grow proverb for the week: as the days begin to shorten, the heat begins to scorch them. And as we can see, those days are starting to shorten after the summer solstice. And yes, we will see plenty of heat this next week. That is a look at your Grow Report. Be sure to tune in next week when it will be time to grow.
We want to see your county fair photos. Go to our website, nebraska.tv, and chime in.